We are going to take a look at the technical analysis on ETC, as well as go over the short interest and why I think the Grayscale ETF is not updating this information. Now, as far as the technicals, we are at a very, very key level here. So I want to go over a deep technical analysis with you guys and show you what the charts are telling me. We are down almost 4% on ETC today, down to about $88.50. But the fact that we are holding this level is very good, but there are some things you guys should be mindful of and watch out for if you are trading this or you are investing in this for the long term. I don't really think you have anything to worry about in the grand scope of things, but if you don't know, I am holding my position and documenting this journey on this channel until we hit at least $1,000 before I sell anything. So I hope you guys can respect that. I am showing you guys my position, and I will also be doing that at the end of this video. But the only thing I ask in exchange for this video is that you tap, tickle, touch, or smash the like button, whatever you want to call it, but make it turn blue for me. And that in turn tells YouTube to push this video out to more people, and hopefully we can get more people onto the ETC word that, hey, if you're investing in these other cryptos, ETC is a much better value crypto for the market cap and the price than most of these other cryptos right now. So do your part, hit the like button, as well as subscribe to the channel if you are not already. And I have a Patreon link down below in the description if you do want to show your love and appreciation a little bit further. I do have my buy and sell alerts in real time, as well as a one-on-one Q&A for whatever questions you have about any investment. I am pretty fast to respond to that as well. So if you want to be a part of that, make sure to check out the link in the description down below. But with that being said, let's get into it. ETC is currently sitting at $88.65, bouncing around quite a lot right now. And we did go up a lot last night on the live stream, up to about $94, $95 when I was streaming. And then ever since then, we have pretty much been selling off. And the real sell-off did start at about 7:45, going from 93 to where we currently are at $88.71. But this is overall healthy in the grand scope of things. We are consolidating much higher than a lot of people thought we were, but I do think we are still suppressed by external factors when it really comes down to it. So I don't think there's any reason to panic here. You know, if obviously, like I always say, if you're not willing to lose 90% or 10x your money in the next year, 2, 3, then you should not invest in this. And if it's making you not sleep right at night, then you definitely shouldn't invest in this. But we might be starting an uptrend here. This is not the technical analysis. We will get into that in 1 second. But I do want to point out the Grayscale ETF. And if we are on MarketBeat, we'll go ahead and reload the page. And it still is not updated past April 15th. Now, I did reach out with this number. I called the number, and you have to leave a voicemail, and then they say they'll get back to you in 24 to 48 hours. So that is what I did, but it does seem like this is an overall, you know, market beat issue rather than anything else. Because if you go to Tesla too, I mean, you're looking at the same short interest data. It's not updated past April 15th, even on Tesla. Come to, let's do CCIV. Let's do CCIV. Come to the short interest, and it's still April 15th. So I do think this is a market beat issue, and I'm waiting to hear back from them, like I said. But I do think this is a market beat issue. And as far as the Grayscale ETF, I do think there is a lot of short selling going on right now. I think there's a lot of short selling going on in general right now. So this data is obviously gonna be, you know, somewhat lagged behind when you have a huge uptick in the amount of shorts taking short positions. But I do think specifically the Grayscale, this could lead us to a short squeeze, because like I have went over in the other videos, basically this Grayscale ETF has, for each share you have in the Grayscale ETF, see, and I filled this out and sent them an inquiry as well, just to see who will get back to me faster and to figure out what is actually going on here. But ETC per share is 0.885. So for one Grayscale ETF share, you're essentially getting 0.88 worth of ETC. So it's pretty close to being 1, but once you start to get shorts in this, that can exponentially move the share price. And I do expect that to happen, especially when this data does come out. A lot of people will be trying to crush the shorts even in the crypto markets. I've been doing some digging, and I am on the Yahoo page for the GreyScale Ethereum Classic Trust, and there's not very much data on this page about what is going on with this ETF. But if you go to conversations, and really everything is bullish on here. Even one guy saying, if you don't understand why Ethereum Classic will be over 1,000 by year end, watch the below video. Just tons of good stuff. But this comment right here, he says, looks like shorts are trying to cover. ETCG short data has not been released since April 15th and expected to be massive. Hold tight. So the fact that more people are talking about this, the fact that this data is expected to be massive, and I don't think there is any way that it wouldn't be. Going back to April 15th, ETC was only $18 per share. Shorts are having a free-for-all right now, and there's probably just a lot of data to go through to come to a conclusion as to the data itself. So I do think, you know, it's good people are looking at this, and once this data does come out, people are going to start piling into ETC. So I do think right now is the early stage of the move we are going to see next. I do believe we are going way higher in the next coming weeks and the next coming months. The next coming years will be really, really good. So if you're freaking out about your position, if you're averaged in really high like I was, then you're probably best off averaging down. And we actually are coming up a little bit right now, $89.30, but I would definitely average down. So as far as the technical analysis, we can see on the MACD, when this yellow CCC line goes above the blue line, that is indicating a bullish uptrend, and we slightly are above the signal line on the CCC line, so that is indicating a possible bull run here. If we do start to go up further, this will more so confirm what I do see as far as the charts. But then if you do come to the 50-day moving average and the 200-day moving average, we did fall under the 200-day moving average. The 50-day moving average fell under the 200-day moving average, which is not a good sign, but this could reverse at any moment here. So I'm not really, you know, looking at one factor too hard as of right now, just because they are somewhat mixed. You know, one saying we could see a bullish uptrend and one is saying we are going into a bearish downtrend. So I don't think there's really too much to get out of that. Really, the biggest thing here is to watch these key levels. And I pointed out many times at this $85 mark where we really started to get some gas before, you know, when we started gapping up, and then ultimately gapped up really hard over the last, you know, couple weeks. Is this 85 level right here? That is where we've seen our bottom, only briefly going under the $85 mark for a couple moments, like very, very briefly. Most people didn't even have a chance to buy the dip right here when we fell to $80.54, and then we did fall to about $77 right here for a brief moment. But you really didn't even get a chance to buy the dip, and then we did bounce off the 85. We bounced slightly above the 85 at about 86 right here, and then we have bounced at about the 86 and then the 86 yet again, and we are slightly going up. It's really hard to, you know, tell, but we do have a couple good green candles right here. So this does look like we could make a move to the upside, and hopefully the, you know, $90 mark will be a good support going forward once we do get that bounce. But I do think ultimately our support still is going to be around the $100 mark. That's not where it is right now, but that is where I think it will sustain once we do get to that level. Now pull it out to the 30-minute candles, take it back here, and you can see that's really where we just get a lot of consolidation around the $100 mark. Now there is a lot of factors suppressing the crypto market still, and we do have the Fed minutes tomorrow where they're going to talk about the economy, jobs, and a lot of other stuff. So I do think crypto is more or less waiting around for that, but I don't really see us going back down, you know, to the $77 or $75 level, which is our lower end support. But then again, anything is possible here, and 2020 was crazy, so I wouldn't count anything anything out, but it does look like we are due for a push to the upside and probably land somewhere around this 115 to 120 range. That is where I would put my money right now, but you really can't time these things, right? So we could see another, dip down to about the $75 range and then shoot back up the next day to 115. It's going to be very volatile. If you're trying to time it, or you're asking yourself, like, how long is this going to take, I would save yourself the question and the thinking ability towards that, because you really just can't time what's going on in the crypto market right now, or just in general. It's not good to try to time these things. I am holding this until $1,000 for a very, very long time. I don't care how long it takes. That is my sellout point. And if I have to hold this for 10 years, that's what I would have to do. Obviously, I don't think it'll be that long, but if I had to, that's what I would do. Now, as far as my position, I still have 18.6 coins, 120.25 average, down 25% or $575. Total portfolio diversity is 6.32%, and I've pointed this out quite a lot in my videos, live streams, and all that. If I didn't have so many 2023 options that were down so much right now, like probably 20% of my portfolio are these 2023 options, just because I am bullish on the market in 2022 especially, but later in this year I do think it'll be good for crypto, stocks, and basically everything else in between. But if I didn't have all these options, I was down so much on in the matter of 2 months, then I would be going a lot heavier in ETC. And if we do get a bounce in stocks and I can sell out some of those options, I'm not selling them for a loss. That's the thing here. So once I do get positive on some of those, that could be a good point to sell out a couple of them, because there are a lot of money, and then throw more into ETC. Hopefully we don't see a huge bounce till then, and I would actually welcome a sell off down to about $50. That is my key level. If we really go to 50, I would deposit a lot of money in this, but I think the chances of really going down to $50 again are very, very low. So I wouldn't be bagging on ETC dropping down to those levels. Like, that is way down here. That is like our lowest support level, and if we go to 50, then there's no telling, we could go back down to 35. So I just don't see that happening. There's too much volume on the charts. As far as the technicals, we're holding up too well to go down there and actually sustain that level for a long period of time. Now, I am looking for the 50-day moving average to curl up and go above the 200-day moving average. Once that does happen, then we will definitely have an indication for a bullish run. Like I said, the MACD is indicating a slightly bullish run is possible as of right now, but it's really undetermined. The two factors are not correlating whatsoever right now. As far as the RSI, we are on the lower end range at 43.63, indicating that we don't have much price action right now. We're not going up a lot, we're not going down a lot, but we are consistently heading down even on the RSI. But this is just the relative strength index. I really don't like to look at this unless you are on the upside. It can help on the downside, basically signifying if we were to have a major sell-off right now, we would go, pretty much instantaneously go to oversold territory and then likely see a bounce up not too long from there. Now, if we were closer to the middle, or even the 50s, somewhere in between there, then if we sold off, that would just indicate that we have a further sell-off that could happen. But since we are on the lower range, I don't expect to be selling off. Along with these other factors, I do think it looks very bullish here to either average down in your position or add to your position, and that is what I'm looking to do. And like I said, hopefully we do get a sell-off down to the $50 level. Even though I think it's less than 5% chance that'll happen, I am keeping a little bit of cash on the side to buy the dip and diamond hands this to 1,000 if that so does happen. That is the update around Ethereum Classic and what you guys need to know about the technicals if you are trading this. Like I said, if you are long-term investing in this like I am, or have a certain price point in which that you will consider selling, then I don't think there's anything to be too concerned about. And if we do drop further, that is a good time to add to your position if your conviction level matches your position and your emotional side of this. Don't let the emotions get the best of you. This is not bad. The fact we are holding up at these elevated ranges is actually a very, very bullish sign. So that is everything in this video. If you guys got anything useful out of it, hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, check out the Patreon link down below in the description. Be safe in the crypto markets, you traders. I will see you guys later. Take care.